Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Makeup by Sasha. Thank you for tuning in, and if you're new, welcome. So in today's video, I'm going to be trying on a full face of Revolution products. I'm going to be giving you my first impression, my honest impressions. If you guys watched my last video, you'll know that I went to Superdrugs and I bought a whole host of makeup. I mainly focus on Revolution. It's one of the leading drugstore makeup brands, so why not do a full face? You definitely want to stick around to the end because I'm going to be rating every single item out of 10. If you guys are interested in finding out how I created this look and my honest opinions, stay tuned and then let's get into it. Right, so I'm going to start with the primer. The primer that I'll be using today is the Revolution Pro Matte Prime. I feel like this primer is good if you've got more dry skin. I wouldn't say it mattified my skin at all, so yeah. I'm going to be using next the Revolution Deep Honey Loose Setting Powder. This is basically how it looks. It's cute because it's got a little lid that you pop open like so, and then it's got the mirror here. This is actually a cover, so I'm guessing that you actually shake the powder out of here and then this is to cover it, which is long. Like, who wants to be doing all that? That's just too long. Next, I'm just going to coat my entire face with this powder. So this is going to really help if you've got oily skin. So I've got extra oily skin, so I need a little bit extra. So far, the powders are okay. It's just a powder. It seems to be mattifying my skin, which is what most powders will do, to be fair. Okay, so next, we're going in with the brow pomade I got from Revolution. This is what it looks like. So this is what I got in the shade dark brown. And that's what it actually looks like. So I'm just gonna brush my eyebrows up. If you guys want to see how I do my brows, I do have a video on that. So if you click the link above, you'll be able to go and watch that video. It's not as dark as I thought it was going to be. It's quite soft to touch. It's not like a really hard brow gel, but I do feel like looking at the texture, it looks like it could get quite dry quite quickly. Like it wouldn't last in the actual pot for too long. Okay, so next, I didn't have an actual concealer from Revolution that I could use for my brows. So I'm just going to use what I always use, which is the Conceal and Define foundation. And I use that in the shade 12.5. This concealer is so nice. Obviously, it's not a concealer, but I use it as one. But it's really nice. Like, it's so easy to go on. And I just like the shade as well. And it's just, recently, it's just been my go-to concealer. You won't even see my brows at the end because I've got a fringe, so I don't even know why I'm doing my brows, but I just feel like it wouldn't be complete unless I did my eyebrows. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm just gonna coat my entire eyelid with this. So this is just gonna act as an eyeshadow base. Taking a wedged sponge, I'm just gonna take the butt of that sponge and just literally blend out that concealer. I actually prefer using wedged sponge versus, because it's got quite a lot of sharp edges, it just gets inside places. Taking my new Revolution Loose Setting Powder, I'm going to use that to set my eyelids. I do like the tone of this though, because I find that it's not too bright, so it's not, hasn't got like an ashy look to it, which is what I like. Right, so next guys, I'm going to be trying out the Patricia Bright palette and I'm so excited. So I haven't even seen the colours yet. So this is the packaging guys. So it's got like a, sort of like a lilac packaging, but I'm sure you guys don't care about that, okay? So we're gonna open it and see what shades are inside of this palette. Okay guys. Okay. It's pretty nice actually. It's not bad. Maybe I'll do something bright today actually. So far I'm loving the palette. The palette looks very, it's almost a little bit random, like it looks like a nude palette, but then at the same time she's just thrown in like a bunch of colors. but I do believe that they will go really nice for my skin tone. I do believe that, so we're gonna give it a go. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Try Me. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna apply that as my transition color. Okay, I did expect it to be a bit more pigmented, but it's all right. It's okay. It's not bad. It's definitely buildable. I feel like it's the shade where you have to kind of build it up. It's actually a really nice color though. I do love this orange. I do love an orange, and it's quite a nice complementary color for my skin tone. If you've got like dark, deeper skin tone, oranges just look so nice. I feel like they just work with our undertones. Okay, so far so good. Next, I am going in with the shade Irreplaceable. I'm just going to use the exact same brush. I'm going to use this just in my crease. This is actually a really nice color as well. This is a nice brown. It reminds me a little bit of Embark from MAC. But I feel like Embark is a little bit more pigmented. It's a bit more stronger in terms of pigment. Whereas this one, it's a little bit of a washed out version. I'm just giving you my honest review. If you build it up, it's fine, it works. So that's that. So I'm gonna go in with a nice yellow. This is the shade Never Say Never. So, it's a little bit powdery. It's a bit chalky, I would say. It's a little bit chalky. If I'm really honest with you, it is a bit chalky. Like, it's not an opaque color. Like, it's a little bit transparent. And I feel like if I was to go and blend it, it would literally just dust away. I feel like if I was to leave it alone, it might work. But I know for a fact when I go and blend out my crease, it may kind of dust away. So let's give it a little bit of a try. Hold on. Yep. It kind of just dusted away. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try and put a base on, reapply it and see if that makes a difference. Going in with my W7, I got the Power in the shade Temptation. I'm just gonna apply that to my eyelids. This should help the eyeshadow to stick better, because right now it's not working. Okay, yeah, already you can definitely see that this one's a little bit more punchy than this one. Yeah, I feel like with this, you definitely need to add a base for it to stick, especially using the yellow shade, because yellows are really, like, it's very hard to get a yellow eyeshadow that actually looks good, like it's punchy and it blends well. I feel like it just, yeah, it's really hard. This is looking a lot better, so I feel like I'm gonna just do this one again and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I decided to do my eyeliner off camera. I did end up going over the top of this eye with the base, and then I went over that with the same yellow shade. I'm not impressed so far. Hopefully I'll pull it together and everything works out, fingers crossed. So I'm gonna put on my lashes. I'm gonna be using a brand called Amiable lashes, and this is in the style Abundance. You can see the packaging is just super cute. And I love the way it slides out. So these are the lashes. So if you guys want to know how to apply lashes, click on the link above and you'll be able to see my video on how I apply my lashes. So now that I've done my eyelashes, I'm going to be using the Revolution Pro foundation. Now this is in the shade F13. The last time I used this was around summertime, and when I put it on my skin I was like, no, like the shade was completely off. So I literally haven't used this since. So let's give it a try. Yeah, it's a little bit light. Yeah, it's a bit light for my liking. I actually prefer foundations that are a bit darker than my skin tone, so that when I contour, everything just balances out. But it could be worse. It's not terrible, so we'll just go with it. Absolutely love it. I didn't think it was gonna look this decent. I thought it was gonna be worse than this, but it's actually alright. I'm going to go in with my Conceal and Define from Revolution. This is the shade I always use, F12.5. Put that here. Sometimes I like to use the shade 11 if I want something really bright looking. I will use the shade 11. I feel like this is like my favourite Revolution product, and I'm not even like an avid Revolution wearer, but yeah, I do love this product. Taking my wedge sponge and also my rose water that I like to put in a spray bottle, I'm just spraying the steep side of my sponge and I'm just gonna blend that in. See how nicely that's blending in? It might be the fact that it's because it's actually not a concealer and it's a foundation, so the consistency is different. It's just the right shade, especially if you don't want to be too much, like you don't want anything too bright. Okay, great. So that's that. I'm going to go over the top of that using the loose setting powder. I'll be honest, I don't like this whole design because you can't even put it into the lid like you would normally. So it's kind of annoying. So I'm having to use this just to shake it out, and yeah, I don't like that. This powder is a setting powder, so it says. So I'm hoping that it's going to set the area without, you know, giving me like a weird sort of ashy look. Now, already it's not really blending in the skin that great. It's a little bit patchy, put it that way. So I'm going to try the second eye, but I'm going to use my wedge sponge. Oh, no, this is not really a setting powder. It's taken me a while to blend this out, and usually that's not the case. I'm a bit disappointed, I'll be honest. It's not looking like flawless like it would usually. So I'm gonna go and bake with the Banana Light powder from Revolution. This is actually a baking powder, and this I do vouch for because I have used this numerous times. I can already see that there's gonna be creasing going on already. It's a no from me. Right, so I did buy this particular foundation for my face, but then when I opened it, it was just mad dark. So I was thinking, this is more like a contour shade. So I'm gonna use it for that. I'm just gonna, yep, definitely a contour shade. I would have looked very dark if I had used that. So do you know what? I'm not gonna do my forehead because you won't see it. I'm just gonna keep it to that. I always do that bit here. So I'm not gonna go too crazy with the nose. Might do under here. And then we're just gonna blend that out. Can you imagine? This was gonna go all over my face. Like, it would have been way, way too dark. Blend that in. You guys know I love this, so this is just no test because I absolutely love this product. Like, this product, they did so well with it, like literally. And yeah, usually there's always like something that isn't as positive to say. Sometimes I find that just never hits the nail on the head. Revolution. I'm just gonna say it. It's just, I'm just keeping it real. That's just it, okay? You like it or you don't. So I'm gonna take a smaller brush just to blend this contour line out. It's actually okay, it's blending out fine actually. I didn't have a Revolution powder, so I'm just gonna use a Sephora powder and set my entire face. So I'm gonna avoid these baking areas because they're still baking. Okay, so another thing I did buy was the Patricia Bright Face Palette. Now I'm excited and I'm a bit nervous because I really want this to look good on my skin. God. I'm not sure. These are the colours, guys. This powder, this contour shade here is too light. Damn it. There was a darker one, but the packaging was very, very deceiving. This was the packaging, okay? Don't that look really dark to you? Right. I'm gonna use my contour brush and hopefully that when I put it on, it actually looks a bit different. So, no, it's not. I can see a bit of a difference. It does come out a bit darker, but it's not dark enough. I'm just gonna go over this bit. This is a little bit too much. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna carve out my cheek areas and I'm hoping that will make the contour look a bit more visible. I'm hoping that that's going to make a difference. I'm going to let that sit for a bit. And I'm going to use the blusher, which is this one right here. It is looking a bit on the light side, but I'm hoping that it's going to look decent when I put it on. Yeah, it's all right. It's not bad. It's okay, but I did want something a little bit more darker. It is a little bit pinky for me. It's not bad though. So I'm just taking the same brush and I'm just taking away that powder that's left. And then I'm gonna brush this out. So yeah, this did make a little bit of a difference. I can actually see that. Okay, so I'm gonna finish off the eyes and just staple that on. Okay, so that's that done. It's actually not bad. I feel like I'm gonna add something in my tear duct. I'm gonna use the highlighting shade. No, this is basically like barely showing up. So I'm gonna use a different shade. I'm gonna go for the shade Shin Shin. Okay, that is showing up a lot better. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so I decided to finish my eyes. So all I've done, I've literally just added mascara because I just wanted it to be quite fresh. I didn't want it to be dark in any way, shape or form. So I'm gonna show you this bomb highlighter that I got. Now, I'm saying it's bomb, I haven't tried it yet, but by the way it looks, it just looks really nice. Are you ready? This is the packaging, guys. This has been the most excited I've been this whole session. Looks wicked. I definitely know for sure I'll be using these two shades the most. I'm actually gonna go for this one today. It's kind of got like a yellow undertone, so we're gonna do that. Already, look at that, guys. What? Are you joking? That is amazing. No, sorry, this is amazing. Oh, first impressions, yeah. It's a 10 for me. I do see a bit of texture, but it's not like nothing to make you not want to pick it up. I haven't really been using highlighter so recently, but this is like making me fall back in love with highlighter. This is amazing. Like, look at that. Last but not least, we are going to try the two lip products I have been itching to try. I got this Revolution, I think it's a satin lipstick it's called. This is in the shade Icon. Such a beautiful pink. I also got this Revolution lip liner. I may use the lip topper I got this a few months ago. We'll see how it goes. If it looks good without it, I won't put it on. I actually know what this looks like because I've got it already. I already know this is banging. I love the fact that it's nice and deep, but it hasn't got a purpley tone. It's got a little bit of purple in it, but it's not like plum. So it's time to now put on the lipstick. Please don't disappoint me, Revolution, please, because it just looks so inviting, even down to like the packaging. Not bad. Honestly, I did not think it would be this pink. I really thought this was going to be a bit more nude. Texture. The texture, I feel like it's not satin. It's more on like the demi matte side. The tone of it, you know when you really want like a nice nude tone? It's not bad though, I'll be honest. I would wear this 100%. But I really wanted something that looked more nude. What I'm gonna do, just to satisfy myself, I'm gonna go over the top of it with this lip topper. So this is in the shade Rose Quartz. So again, obviously I got this from Revolution. This is a really nice sort of glowy metallic kind of gloss. And see the look, it's looking a little bit purpley, which is what I did not want. What I'm gonna do is take some concealer and just dab it a little bit on my lip and just merge it in, and that should help get a nude sort of look. So I'm just gonna dab a little bit there. So yeah, I prefer that now, like it looks better. I'm gonna go back over it with the lip topper. Yeah, that works. So what I'm gonna do now is literally spray all over my face with some rose water just to kind of help it settle in a bit. And then I'll be back with my conclusion. Okay, so this is the finished look. What do you guys think of this look? I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts and I'm gonna go through categories just to make it a bit easier and so that I can make sure that I cover every single opinion, okay? So let's talk about the brows. Now, with the brow pomade, it did strike me as quite a dry consistency, which to me, like other brow gels I've used in the past, have always, without a fail, dried up super quick. I'm talking about within like weeks of using it. So the texture of it makes me feel like that could happen. And I did remember trying a Revolution brow gel years ago and that exact thing happened, but I just thought I would try it again because I know that you know, it's been a few years and obviously consistency might have changed, the formulation might have changed as well. What would I give it out of 10? I would give it a 5 out of 10. The shade, I did quite like the shade of it. The shade's good because it's not too dark, it wasn't too warm. It was a bit on the greyish side actually, which it wasn't even that bad. I didn't mind it being on the greyish side because I found that it made it a little bit softer. So yeah, the colour wasn't bad. I did have an issue with the pigment. I feel like not a lot of pigment came out of the product. So when you put it on the skin, you didn't see like a huge amount of product. It was very, very soft. So if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for quite a soft brow pomade, then yeah, it's definitely for you. But just be wary that you might have to use something else to help keep it lubricated. So yeah, that's my views on that. Now let's talk about the eyeshadow palette. Now at first when I opened the palette, I was just like, oh, these shadows are actually quite decent. However, that kind of changed as I kind of used certain shades. I looked at it again and I thought, you know what, it is a bit wishy-washy. It's quite washed out. The shades are quite washed out. They lacked pigment and I feel like you had to keep reapplying just to get like a decent coverage from the shadow. So for that, I would give it a 6. I did like some of the shades and I do feel like, especially like the blues and the greens, I feel like those shades may actually work, like especially the ones that aren't matte. But I'm yet to try that. I don't want to really comment on that too tough because I haven't tried it. But from the shades that I did try, I did like a couple of colours. I did like a couple of eyeshadows, but the yellow really, really disappointed me. I feel like with that palette, working on like a deep skin tone or a dark skin tone, certain of the shadows you might struggle to see, like to actually see it. A little bit disappointed in the palette, but there's a few shades I'm yet to try, so I don't want to give it a full review yet until I've tried most of the shades. But so far, I'll give it a 6. The next is the Patricia Bright Face Palette. Now, I got it in the shade Summer Sunrise. And looking at the packaging, I really did think, yeah, this colour's going to suit me, like it's going to be fine. And I was so excited because it's so hard to find. Contour palette for a dark skin tone is like Like, it's so hard to find. But I honestly think it's just that I got a lighter shade. I feel like that was the only issue. I think it was a good idea. I do think it's a good idea. I just feel like I just didn't get the right shade for my skin tone. But I would say what really annoyed me is the fact that the packaging and the colours on the packaging was so deceiving. Like, the colours are totally different. Like, when you actually open it, it's totally different. So I think that would, yeah, that really kind of, that's a bit confusing for the user. Now it just means that, like, I can't really use it properly. I'm just gonna have to put it in my kit for my clients. Imagine having like a blusher, a contour and a highlight in one palette. Like, it's perfect. I'm not sure if I'll go back again and buy another because I just think, nah, we'll see, I'm not sure. Based on like the texture and stuff like that, I would give the palette probably a 6 because it didn't blow me away. Also, when I used the highlighter to try to highlight my tear ducts, it was non-existent. The blusher was decent. Like, it was a bit chalky, but it wasn't bad. Like, you could see the blusher. I didn't mind that. And also the contour shade wasn't that bad, even though it's not the right shade for my skin tone, but it wasn't bad. So I feel like I said, if I got a darker color, it might have worked. Color payoff from the highlighter, I don't know what happened there, but it wasn't very, like, maybe if I had wet the brush, it would have made a difference, but I feel like you shouldn't really have to do that. So yeah, I'd give the whole entire palette a 6. Next, we're going to talk about the Conceal and Define foundation. I already love this foundation, but like I said to you guys before, I use it as a concealer. The shade that I did get was the F15, which is this shade right here. Now, again, the packaging, the frosted packaging is so deceiving. I feel like they should kind of look into that a little bit because looking at the packaging, I thought it was actually going to suit my skin tone. When I actually opened it, it was basically a contour shade. So I ended up using it for contouring, which I really loved. I love using it for contouring, and that's actually what I'm going to do from now on, actually. As a foundation, I haven't got to use it, which is so jarring because I really wanted to use it, but I'm confused at what shade I actually am. So I'm going to wait a bit, maybe do a bit more research here on YouTube. But yeah, I will eventually try it as a foundation because I do like the texture. So I'm going to give it a 9. Like, I know it's pretty high, but I love it. Like, I literally feel like the consistency is amazing. The staying power is amazing. The formula, like, they just done so well, like, with the whole thing, like the formula. I love the fact that it's got like a really big sort of nib at the end of the stick. You get so much product. Obviously you're not meant to use it as a concealer, but it works so well as a concealer. So yeah, I'll give that product a 9. So next I'm going to talk about the loose setting powder. The thing that I did like about this powder is I liked the tone of it. The tone is beautiful, like, it works with my skin tone. The tone of it is A1. However, the texture is very, very hard to budge. Like, you couldn't really use it as a setting powder unless you use like a small amount. That's what I would say, because it did leave me a little bit patchy underneath my eye and a little bit creasy as well, which I know why it was creasy. It's because of that product. I wish they could change the formula because the color is literally perfect. I didn't like the actual packaging. The mirror is a cute idea, but I didn't like the fact that there was nothing to put the powder into. Yes, I do think they thought about the fact that this needed a lid so that the mirror wouldn't get messed up, but it's not practical. Like, where are you pouring this? Like, how are you meant to shake it up? Where are you pouring it? Also, I found that it was a little bit, once you actually try to blend it in, it was a bit ashy, weirdly enough. It was a bit ashy. I was so let down by that because I was looking forward to it. Like, I really thought it would be like, yeah, but I'm not sure. As a setting powder, definitely wouldn't use it as a setting powder. I would try it again as a baking powder. But overall, I'm going to give it a 4, unfortunately. So I'm going to talk about the lip products now. First of all, let's talk about the lip liner. Like I said to you guys before, I've tried it before, so it wasn't like a new thing. I absolutely love this lip liner. I do feel like it's, looking at it now, it looks like it's closer towards the purple side, which I didn't find that before. So I don't know if they've changed like the colouring slightly. The texture is beautiful. It goes on like gel. It's so like slick the way it just goes on like once. You don't have to edge it on, nothing. Bang, and it's on. The consistency of the application is beautiful. It's easy to blend. 100%. The tone of it I do like, even though I'm not too sure what's happening with the colour of it. Definitely give that a 7. Let's talk about the new lipstick that I bought. So the name is something like Satin Lipstick. It definitely was not a satin lipstick, guys. It was not a satin lipstick. It was more like a matte, sort of demi-matte sort of texture. So satin, no. It was quite a, you could tell that you can't spread it evenly. Like, I had to really go, like, really merge it in the lip for me to actually be able to spread it. Also, I feel like, the shade was off. Like, look at this. Like, looking at this in the packaging versus actually being on my lip was completely different. Like, that's totally different. Like, it looks like it should be like a nice sort of dusky rose / nude color, but on it looked quite like it looked like a baby pink basically, which wasn't the look I was going for. I really did want like a nice nudie pink color, and it was just, yeah, it was off. You should be able to look at the bottom of the lipstick and you should be able to tell like what color it is, at least get like an idea, but that kind of threw me. I can't speak on the longevity because I've just used it, but the texture was okay. It felt a little bit cheapy, I'll be honest. It did feel a bit cheapy. It didn't feel like it had like a long wear to it. Like, it just felt like a basic drugstore lipstick. It didn't feel like satin, didn't feel like anything like that. But I would buy it again based on, it was cheap and cheerful. So I'd buy it again. And I absolutely love the packaging. Like, the packaging got me. Like, it lured me in. So I would probably try it again. I'd try to go for like a different shade and see how that goes. But yeah, overall, I'll give that lipstick a 5. Yeah, I'd give it a 5. If it wasn't for the packaging, I'd probably give it a 4. The last thing I'm going to review is the Mua Highlighter Kit. Now, guys, I'm not even gonna lie, I was going off of highlighters, guys. Like, I just thought highlighters are just so played out, it's boring now. Guys, this has literally brought me back on. This put me back on to the highlighter phase, like, because look at, like, my skin looks glowy. Like, it looks amazing. Amazing. Like, I'm shocked. This was super inexpensive. This was £5, guys. Look, you get 3 highlighters and they're all wearable, like all of them. Like, I can literally wear every one of these highlighters. Amazing. Like, beautiful on dark skin. I also bought another one that's good on light skin. I think there's about 3 different ones. But yeah, this one is in the shade Golden Highlights. Beautiful. Like, I wish, like, guys, if you can't even see the beauty of this. Like, you can't even see it like properly. It's amazing. Like, you can see for yourself. Like, I will give this like an 11. Like, that's how deep it is. Like, I love how this looks. Amazing. Like, literally amazing. That's all I've got time for today, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. Let me know in the comment section whether you like these kind of videos. If you like the whole rating idea, let me know in the comment section. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel because I've got so much in store for you guys. It's unreal. So you do not want to miss a single video. Hit that like button if you like this video. Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss another one of my videos. Until next time, guys, take care of yourselves and stay safe. I'll see you again soon. Bye.